Hey y'all, welcome to my gluten-free kitchen. Today we are doing banana bread. Now I'm just going to do kind of my basic recipe. I was going to just do my regular normal basic recipe, but then I found the Martha Stewart recipe, and Martha Stewart's recipe is very similar to mine. However, there's a couple of differences in the amounts in some of the ingredients, and then she adds sour cream to hers, which is not in my original that I've made for years and years. I have never made it gluten-free, so we will see how it turns out. So we start out with half a cup of room temperature butter. I kind of goofed up a little bit. I'm going to tell you to be honest with you, because I did not take it out earlier, so I tried to put it in the microwave to make it room temperature, so it's a little bit more, it's a little less it's a little bit more than room temperature, I guess I should say. So what we're going to do, we'll go ahead and start that. We're going to go ahead and start mixing that along with, so it's 1 stick of butter. It's 1 cup of sugar, and trying not to get the clumps. Last time I did this, I made a huge mess. We'll add a little bit more just because it didn't quite get to a cup. You can always pour some back. Okay. So a cup of sugar, 2 large eggs, and we're going to let those start going. In the meantime, we're doing that until they're kind of creamy and a little fluffy, sorry. And they're almost getting there. I guess I could show you what it's looking like. Okay. So then, I guess we could go ahead and turn it off so it doesn't get over. Well, there's still butter. I just saw there's still a glob of butter in there. So next, and I'm looking at my recipe off the thing. Next we have 1.5 cups of flour. So I am using a 1-to-1 mix, which means that for any cup that you would use of normal flour, you also use the same in this. It's already got your xanthan gum and all that stuff. So that's a 1.5 cups. So what I'm doing here is I am mixing my dry ingredients in a separate bowl. Okay, so we have our flour, and then we have a teaspoon of baking soda, which would be nice if I had the box already opened. So 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I know it said baking powder, didn't it? It did not. I almost screwed up because I could have sworn that it said baking powder as well. My recipe calls for baking powder. This one does not. Wow. And then this one actually calls for kosher salt. I got out the regular salt, so. And it's 1 teaspoon. I don't usually like cooking with salt too much. So, and I just measure till my ancestors tell me to stop. So, whisk all that together and start putting that. Let's see. Oh! Okay. And then get that in there and let that start going. And then I did not mash up the bananas ahead of time. So while that's working and doing its thing, y'all, so the grocery store that I go to, they have fruit that, well, they have I guess, all of their produce that's like still okay, but almost not okay. They have it over on a clearance shelf. And so I was looking at all their bananas and I was like, oh my God, there's like none that are like way ripe. And then I was like, oh, but wait, they do have the clearance bananas. And sure enough, they had some. So that's what I got. I like them a little bit more brown. I dropped my fork. It did not hit the ground. Okay, I'm going to turn that off because that is starting to get a little bit more done than I want it to be. These bananas are not as mushy as I would care for. I like them really mushy. Like I like mine like almost brown. I have bought bananas so many times to make banana bread, but of course they were already ripe. But they weren't, so I was gonna have to like let them sit out, and then I let them go too far because when they were just right, I didn't have time to make the banana bread. So I think that is mashed up enough. So let's turn this back on. Maybe turn it up a little bit. And then we are going to put that in there. Let's see here. Oh, and the sour cream. Okay, so we don't want to overmix, so I'm going to turn that off. So we have a half a cup of sour cream. Lord Jesus, I'm dropping stuff. You'd think I'd be more organized, right? Organization has not been my strong suit these past few days. Y'all, I've been so exhausted. Yesterday I took a 2-hour nap. I was just like literally like almost falling asleep. It was all I could do to make it home and not fall asleep driving. So a half a cup of sour cream. And then I got home and I took a nap. And I woke up 2 hours later. I literally did not know if I had overslept through the alarm or if it was day or if it was night. I had no clue. So then we have vanilla extract. It's a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Again, you know what? Pour it until your subconscious tells you that's enough. And then mix that up. Mix it real nice. Let's see, make sure I'm okay. And then I like walnuts in mine. If you don't like nuts or if you have a nut allergy, you know, definitely skip the nuts. I like nuts. I'm a little nuts. So we're going to put some walnuts in there. Again, until you feel that you need to stop. Now I'm going to mix this up, and I'm going to put this in my loaf pan. It's set at 350, and it's going to bake for 55 to 60 minutes. We'll see y'all in an hour. All right, y'all, it's done. Look at there. Ain't it pretty? Moment of truth. We'll test it. It hasn't cooled off completely, and I'm going to put in the comments. I'm going to try. Alexa, stop. I'm going to try a cinnamon crumble on the top of it, and so that will be in the comments. Pretty good. It's still hot, so it needs to really cool down. But there you go. It's good. Banana bread, gluten-free. Y'all go try it. Check out the comments if you want to see the cinnamon topper.